Okay, y'all, so let's just start with some arm swings. And like we like to check in on every single warm-up and things we do, we like to check in on that posture. So keep those arm swings going, but let's make sure butt cheeks are tight, belly button's drawn in, weight is nice and even on the feet, that rib cage is down, we're extending up a little bit, we're having nice control here. We want that breath to go down here. We don't need to choose to go from breath hold to breath hold. We want to be able to stay tight and engaged and breathe through it. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back and up. As we go up, let's not let ourselves change shapes of our spine. Let's stay nice and tight here. As we go up, just like in a push-up, we should be externally rotating. So those palms should be facing back. And as we come back, we're going to rotate the exact opposite way. And that's going to mimic the position our shoulders are going to be in on a jump. So palms back, each direction. Let's go. Big arm circles backwards, but we're going to go really slowly at first, and then we're going to work these into going faster and faster. So same thing, palms facing back, reach up as far as you can. Once you run out of room, go ahead and rotate your hands around backwards, face them back the other way, and then we're going to come through. So big ones back, reach up high, rotate them around, come through. Big ones back, rotate it around, come through. Then let's just speed these up. Let's really focus on the rotation. And palms are back, and then we're going to always just kind of try and keep them facing back as we go here. Okay, now we're going to go the opposite way. So we're going to go palms back, but we're going to go up as high as we can. As soon as you run out of room, we're going to flip it around the other way as we come back through. So as high as you can, flip it around, come back through. And then we'll go a little faster with these as you try and smooth out that transition back there. Shoulders should be burning a little bit. Mine are. That is okay. Okay, so let's stand. Again, get that posture set. We're going to stick your arms out. One palm is going to go forward and up. The other palm is going to go down and back. Just reach out as far as you can. Rotate as far as you can. As you do these, we don't want your posture changing. So just try and imagine everything staying nice and still, and it's just your shoulder just rotating around. So now let's go short lever here. So we're going to bend the elbows. We're just going to do the same thing, just challenging these shoulders in a slightly different way. We got a lot of pressing stuff going on today. Okay, let's go back. Let's just do a few more arm swings across the chest just to kind of get blood flowing again. Let's go ahead and just hip hinge as low as you can with that neutral spine. So if it's just right here, it's just right here. So just go as low as you can go, and we're going to stand back up with it. We'll do that a few times, really just focusing on making sure we're hitting our in-range position without rounding around it. Now we're going to add in, we're going to hip hinge when we come up. Again, palms back. Let's really reach up. Try and keep your hands as close as possible. Lock those elbows out as much as you can. We're just going to do reps here. Hip hinge, reach up. Hip hinge, reach up. Check in when you're reaching up. Your butt cheeks squeezed, belly button's drawn in. Really trying to get that in range. Now let's speed it up a little bit. Hip hinge, reach up. We get faster and faster here. Try and hit that top in range. All right, let's go ahead and squat down. Like I like to do on a lot of warm-ups, I really like to wiggle around in a squat and test out all different angles and corners of joints, hips, ankles. So I'm gonna do everything you're technically not supposed to do. I'm gonna cave everything in. I'm gonna jam everything out. I'm gonna go up on my toes. I'm gonna round that back, extend the back. Then we're just gonna get into a really good squat position. So feet flat on the floor, belly button drawn in. Let's take your left hand, grab your right ankle. We're just gonna rotate up. Take a couple breaths, and we're gonna switch sides. Notice as I'm rotating up, my hand rotates just like we're gonna screw our shoulders into the ground in that push-up. My hand rotates that exact same way. I'm just trying to keep weight even on my feet here. Let's go one more time each way. So back to that other side. Breathe. We want to make sure we're not in fight or flight mode in these positions. We're breathing as much as we can. Now you can put your hands on your ankles. I'm sure that squat might need a little bit of relief. So stick that butt up in the air. We're going to wiggle around here. All right, right, now let's come up. Let's just do some jumping jacks. Same thing, we can still work that posture position while we're moving around, but now we're gonna try and just get out of breath a little bit. We're gonna go back into working positions a little bit more here in a sec. Okay, hop. I like to go through this little jumping jack hop. Use your arms to kip your hop. And then go back to hopping to feel your feet. And then run in place, really paying attention to your feet. I feel like it's a super simple way to get out of breath. And I just like to pick my feet up higher and faster off the floor and go back into jumping jacks. Focus in on that breathing. Today's workout cardio-wise actually isn't going to be that tough. Let's hop. Definitely going to be long, slow cardio, but it's going to be mainly muscle fatigue that gets us today. Let's swing those arms. Let's get higher and higher. Okay, go back to hopping. Pick those feet up. Let's run in place, but really feel your feet acting like feet, so they're springs. Pick them up higher, faster. Whew. Okay. Let's go ahead and do 10 air squats. Just make these look perfect. Do them with me. Here's one. So we're going slow in the beginning. 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's pause at the bottom of this one. I want you to check in. Is weight even on your feet? You should feel your toes on the ground. You should feel your heels on the ground. Belly button drawn in. Let's come up. Is weight even on your feet? Same thing. Butt tight. Okay, let's do more. That's 6, 7. Let's do the last 3 fast. 8, 9, 10. Let's just inchworm out. I'm going to go ahead and change positions here. Let's just inchworm out into a push-up plank position. You can drop to your knees if you need to. 5 push-ups isn't ridiculously easy. Then we're going to do knee push-ups today. So let's go ahead and do 5 push-ups. Let's make them look perfect. Then we're going to press into down dog. Pedal your feet around. Let's go right foot next to our right hand. Let's put the back knee on the ground today. Squeeze that butt cheek. Wiggle around. Go as far to the left, as far to the right as you can. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn that front foot sideways. We're going to straddle it with our hands. We're just going to lean into this. Really gets into that glute and hip. Good on lunge days here. Okay, let's go ahead and switch sides. So we're going to go left foot next to the left hand. Back knee on the ground today. Make sure that butt cheek stays tight and the belly button stays drawn in. I'm just going as far to the left, as far to the right as I can go. Pushing into it. I can feel my hamstrings need to be warmed up just a little bit from yesterday. Let's go on the side of that foot, lean into it. Same thing, wiggling around to that trailing butt cheek needs to be flexed. Belly button's drawn in. All right, let's come back up. So we are doing lunges today, especially jumping lunges. So we want to make sure that stability is there. So we're going to do a little bit of just some mobility work, balancing on one foot. And we're going to work that into some lunge progressions that are going to help us with today's workout. So let's go ahead and just balance on that right foot. And as we're balancing, again, check in. Belly button drawn in. Everything nice and tight here. We're just going to go knee hug, up, quad stretch back. Notice as I quad stretch, I'm not overextended with everything. Everything's nice and tight. And then, whoop, had to use the couch, I cheated. Then we're going to pull here. So we're going to go 2 more. We're going to do these a little faster. We're going to go knee hug, quad stretch. Check those positions. Knee hug. Try and do them all while balancing. Don't cheat like I did. Quad stretch. Okay, we'll go to the other side. So bounce on that left foot. Oh gosh, here we go. Knee hug. We give this first one a little bit longer of holds. Quad stretch, but just a little longer of a hold. And we'll go a little faster on the next one. So knee hug. Quad stretch. Last one, knee hug. Quad stretch. All right, so we're gonna go through some lunge progressions. They go from super easy to harder to really hard. So kind of makes a big jump there. So if you hit a variation that you can't quite do yet, go ahead, just hang in there and maybe go back to the variation before that you can do best, just as we get reps in. The goal of it is to practice and work and develop stability. So don't go beyond something that makes you get super sloppy. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start, I'm gonna see if I got enough room here, I'll do it sideways here. Get the mat out of my way. So what we're gonna do is let's just start by balancing on our right foot. We're just gonna keep that front foot toe pointed. We're just gonna work it around. Okay, so keep it low. As I come through, I'm taking this opposite hip and I'm really turning it down to the ground. So that's gonna face my toes down to the ground also. I'm facing way back and out to the side. So I'm not trying to go straight back. I'm trying to go out to the side as I go down, backwards into a lunge. So something to keep in mind here, go ahead and stay in this lunge position. But if I were to get up, if I were to draw a line straight from that back leg to here, it would be exactly on my squat stance. So I'm not super narrow and I'm not back. That's my squat stance. That's where I'm lunging back to. Trying to keep that opposite hip out in front. This stuff is super important. Most people in the gym miss this part. They just blow past this stuff. That's why I'm taking a little more time. So if I sit here, go ahead and check. And let's shove your right hip forward so you can tell, right hip in front of left hip. Shove that right hip back, left hip in front of right hip, and then let's get them dead even. We're actually gonna want that right hip back just a little bit, so I'm almost facing that front foot. Okay, now from the back foot to my head, I'm gonna try and create a straight line. So I put a lot of weight, even pressure on my foot, but a lot of weight on that first or front foot, and then from there I'm just gonna stand up. Whew. All right, so now we're gonna balance on the left foot. We're gonna do the same thing. As I go down, now that I'm balancing on the left foot, my right hip is going to need to stay forward. So I'm going to swing it around, swing that right hip over the top. That puts my right toes facing down. Now I'm going to lunge way back, way back, way back, way back, and then get into my lunge position. Again, I'm facing that front foot. Create a straight line, make sure your weight's even there, and then we're going to stand up from there. Okay, so now it's going to get a little bit harder. We're gonna bounce on that right foot again. Let's point the toes. We're gonna swing it around. We're gonna reach way back, but this time when we go down, try and wait as long as possible. And when you go down, we're gonna go down on top of your foot. So now I'm going down on the top of that back foot. So now when I lean forward and create that line, I'm just gonna have more weight on that front foot. So lean forward, create that straight line, and then we'll stand up with it. Let's go to the other side. Point that toe. Work it around, rotate that hip over, reach way back, wait, foot on the ground, go on the top of your foot. Create that line, and then stand up from there. What happens a lot, so if you notice yourself doing it on that one or the next one, what happens a lot is when we get overextended, we start to see people really start spinning to the inside because we don't have any hip stability. So really check in, are we driving that belly button in? Are we creating stability and organization down there in the pelvis? Okay, so that's gonna be the level where most people are gonna have to come back to, but let's go and try out the next level. It's pretty tough. So let's go ahead and bounce on that right foot. We're gonna point the toe, we're gonna go down the exact same way. Rotating it around, rotating the hip, reaching back, reaching back, reaching back, reaching back, reaching back, going into a lunge. This time now though, I'm gonna lean forward on to that foot and pick the other one up. So now I've got a lot of weight. Instead of having the straight line, I'm just on my knee and right here. Really check in, make sure you draw that belly button in, and then we're just gonna stand up from there. Okay, give it a shot. Then we'll go to the other side. So even if you didn't quite get it there, try it on the other side and then we'll back off and go to whatever level you can do. So point that foot, wrap it around, reach way, 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 way back, come back down. When you lean forward, pick that leg up, draw the belly button in, make sure weight is completely even on your feet. That way we can stand up from a really solid position there. Okay, so what I want y'all to do is we're just gonna do one more really good one on whatever your best level is, and then we'll get into talking specifics about the workout. So we'll go back to that right foot. Whatever your best level is, Work it on the way down, nice and slow. It's all about positioning and developing positions. It's not about just getting the job done. Draw that belly button in, lean in. Do the other side.